Good morning. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you slept well. Hope you're feeling good. And if you're not, I don't think this video is going to make you feel better. I wish it would, though. Um, One of our subscribers here, customers here, came yesterday for the cat filter install from MDD Performance. That went well yesterday. I upgraded his Super Duty from the factory one to a higher capacity, better flowing filter. And the install went well. It went very well. Afterwards, we moved on to the second part of the upgrades to his truck. He wanted to go with power stop, ceramic pads, the extreme duty pads, and rotors and calipers. So I start on the front. I want to knock out the front real quick and just move on to the back and start with the driver's side. Get the tire off, caliper and everything hung up on the spring. Get the rotor off, everything cleaned up, new rotor on, new pads and stuff. Or I'm going to put the pads on. I'm like, okay, it's time to grab the new caliper assembly out of the box. Well, I look at the box and there's no markings on the box at all. Zero. There's no part numbers on the box. It's a box that looks like it's been opened up several times and taped back up. And I grab the caliper and I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, okay, bleeder up top. This goes on the driver's side. And I go to mount it and line it up. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a second. This is a whole caliper and bracket assembly. I slide it up there on the rotor and I got the top bolt hole lined up and I'm about this far away from the bottom bolt hole. I'm about 3 or 4 inches short. Sorry, that bracket don't line up here. Normally the rear bleeders will stick straight out back and the front bleeders will stick sideways, and I know I got the right calipers sitting in the back. They look like they match up. Everything's the same. But these front ones, they don't look the same. Well, unfortunately, man, these calipers won't work. Grab a tape measure, run them from bolt hole to bolt hole, run them to the bolt hole on the truck, the bracket on the truck. They just don't work, man. They're not the right ones. And my customer, one of the subscribers here, was like, dude, I've been waiting on these things forever. You mean to tell me I've been waiting on these things forever to come off back order and they finally show up and they're not the right ones? Unfortunately, yes, they won't work for this truck. These are too small. And he says, man, that sucks. Let me go get on the phone, continue on with what you're doing. So he says, keep going with what you're doing. Get the fronts done, put the pads and clips and everything on the old caliper and caliper bracket and stuff. At least the pads and the rotors and everything are correct. And I said, so where did the pads and the rotors come from? Oh, those came from power stop. Well, where did the calipers in the rear come from? They came from power stop. They all have part numbers on all the boxes, the calipers, the brake pads, everything. But where do these come from then? They don't have anything on the boxes for these front power stop calipers. Well, they didn't have those in stock, but Jegs said they did have them in stock, so I ordered them from Jegs. So Jegs sent basically a box with a shipping label on it and no part numbers, no nothing on the inside boxes, no nothing at all, like zero. So he gets on the phone with Power Stop, and Power Stop says, you do have the right invoiced part number, but that doesn't mean you have the right part in the box for the truck. So you're going to have to get a hold of Jegs because you bought it through them. You bought all your other stuff through us, and we just didn't have it in stock at the time, and they're still on back order. We still don't have a set of front calipers available for that 19 Super Duty 350 single wheel. So he gets on the phone with Jegs and says, hey, the reason I didn't get the front calipers from Power Stop is because you guys said you had them in stock, but the ones that you sent me are not the correct ones. Well, how do you know that? Well, because I'm having them installed right now. Well, who's installing them? A dealer tech, somebody that works on these things all the time. Currently has his hands on the part right now, and it just does not work. It doesn't line up. There's no part of it that lines up at all. It just doesn't fit this application. Well, we're not going to be able to give you your money back and all this other stuff until you send those calipers back and we verify they are the wrong ones. And, well, where did they come from? Well, I don't know where they came from. You guys tell me where they came from. Did they come from a drop shipping source that you guys used, or did they come from your warehouse? How am I supposed to know that? Why are we having this? This should be something you guys are investigating on your end to figure out where this. The amount of time he had to spend away from the truck while I was doing all this work, I had enough time to almost get the entire job done front to back. Putting calipers, brake pads, rotors, and installing the new calipers in the back before he actually made it off the phone back to the truck, because he was in this circus of customer service trying to answer all these questions and stuff while they were doubting him and asking all these preliminary questions and all this other stuff, and the inconvenience of being on the phone for this amount of time just to have them say, well, we'll give you a $25 gift card. Well, you guys sent me the wrong stuff, and the guy's currently got it torn apart right now. So when you do send me the right stuff and he has to tear the calipers back off of it, are you going to pay the labor install for that, or am I eating that? Well, we don't pay labor. Well, you sent me the wrong part, and I'm having it installed, but you don't pay the labor for this guy to redo this again. And I've been waiting for these things forever, and I finally got them, and they're the wrong ones with no part number, no nothing, in a piss poor packaged box. And what are you going to do for me? You're not going to try to give me a discount on the caliper? Well, we'll give you a $25 gift card. Guys, I'm telling you what, and I hate to say this, but customer service has gone down the shitter completely, man. You know, I've dealt with Jegs multiple times before. They used to be a couple years ago, they were phenomenal to deal with. They would do whatever it took to make the customer happy. But not anymore. Just not anymore. Clearly not anymore. And I hate to say it. I hate to say this because I really did love using them. You guys will remember my experience with them. I jumped online. I found a locker, an 8.8 locker, 31 spline locker for the town car. And I ordered it. I paid a premium price for it. It's supposed to show up. It's supposed to show up. It's supposed to show up. It don't ever show up. I get a ship date on when it's going to be here and stuff like that. It never shows up. I got the vehicle tore apart on the rack. I told my boss, give me one more day. Just let's leave it down here. We left it on the rack for the weekend. Had it all torn down. I had to come back and put the stock unit and stuff back in it with the 373 gear set, because the timeline I was given and when I was going to get the part and everything, nothing was legit. Nothing actually showed up from them. Finally, I get on the phone with Jegs. I'm talking to them about it, and they're like, we don't know when you're going to get this part. We don't know when the people building the stuff is actually going to get it to us so we can get it to you. Well, can you give me a number of somebody I can contact at the builder to figure out what's going on with this thing? I mean, literally, this has been freaking weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. It was like, I don't know if it was several months. It seemed like it was almost several months for this, but it was an abnormal amount of time for something. And I get a hold of the builder. They actually gave me the number to call the builder, which I didn't find out later that they weren't supposed to do that, because the builder only talks with the people that have the contract to sell the stuff, not the person that's receiving it. So I get a hold of the builder, and they're on the phone. They're like, we can't tell you anything. We can't even speak to you unless you have a generated build list, like you're the people that are ordering from us to sell to somebody else. I can't talk to you. You're the consumer, and I don't know when your unit's going to be built. You mean to tell me they put me in touch with you, wasted my time even more, and now you're telling me you can't even talk to me? No, I don't even know why they would give you our number. We cannot talk to the consumer. We only talk to the people that we do business with. And you have to have paperwork with like an invoice number and everything else that you are the people that are buying from us to sell to the consumer. We talk to the retailers. Okay. All right, so I called Jegs back up. I get Jegs back on the phone. Tell them what's going on, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. We don't know what to tell you. You'll get it when you get it, basically. No, I won't. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the customer service. I'm tired of getting pushed around and jerked around, and now you have a story, and now it's not going to be available anytime soon, and no, it should be released soon, and now you put me through to a company that I shouldn't even be talking to, and now I'm back over here at customer service. It was a complete nightmare having to deal with them. And then yesterday's experience where I'm hearing him talk about his whole entire situation. Now, mind you, this is the sweetest dude ever, man. He cares about everybody, gives everybody a fair shake, gives everybody, and I looked him straight in the face while he was going through all this when he was done, and I said, now do you understand why I don't deal with Jegs anymore? The customer service has went down the freaking drain, man. They just do flat out not care. And that's not just them. It's a lot of businesses. They just flat out don't care. They're under so much pressure and so much stress that they just can't care anymore, or they just don't have it in them to care anymore. And he said, now I know. Now I know why. you don't deal with them no more. It's ridiculous. I'm so fed up with dealing with parts companies and stuff in general, and just the treatment of the customers and the lack of information and people just not knowing their job and asking them, oh, why does it say you have 8 fucking units in stock on your website, but you're telling me you don't have not a single unit to ship? Well, that's a projected. Well, maybe it's wrong. Why is it projecting 8 units in stock, but you don't have anything available to the consumer so they can come here, spend money with you, you hold the money hostage until you can release it 7 days later to the consumer, but you can take it right away, but you can't release it right away, and you have projected 8 units in stock? Something's wrong here. Somebody's inventory's off, and there's something that needs to be changed about that. Well, I'm sorry, I can't control that. Well, you can control that. Do better, people. Do freaking better. I had to put his calipers back on the way, the stock one's back on. Clean everything up. Stop's great. I told him if I was you, I'd send those calipers back, I'd ask for my money back, and I'd paint the stock ones red and have a nice day. I'm sorry. I'm bitter about this whole situation. It's one of the reasons why I stopped dealing with them. Just the customer service sucks. And that's that. Sorry to be so negative first thing in the morning, guys, but I share my experiences with you because it's not only me that's affected by this, it's a lot of other people as well. People just simply seem to not care anymore. You all have a great day. I care about you. I care about your health or your well-being, and I hope you don't take this as I'm trying to make you not like them. If you like them, you like them. That's fine. I don't need to hear your stories on why you do like them. I'm just telling you this is my experience. And maybe you have an experience with another company or something else that's similar to that. But this is my experience with Jegs. That's why I do not buy products from them anymore. Y'all take care. Be blessed.